In a small village, there lived a poor man who used to go around from door to door, knocking on people's doors, asking them for help with money. And this went on for many years. And he would continue to go around. People knew that this is the beggar of the town. And they were prepared, whether it be in shul, whether it be just anticipating a knock on their door from this poor man. And he will go around for many years just asking people for help. Eventually he heard that there's a very rich man coming to town. And he's going to be staying in his town, and he's going to be there for only a certain amount of time. So he figured he would take advantage of the opportunity. And he came up with this clever idea that he would wait right by the gates of the town, waiting for the rich man to appear. When he would appear, he would ask him for help. He'll ask him for some parnasa, and hopefully the rich man is going to feel bad for him. His heart will go out to him, and he will give him a nice check. As he was waiting by the gates, waiting hours upon hours, he started to notice that other poor people started to gather by the gates. And before he knew it, there was a whole entourage, a whole crowd of people waiting for the rich man to show up so that they could ask him for help. And finally the rich man comes, and everyone's screaming, "Please help me, I really need it, my family." And the rich man helps out a few people, he writes out a few checks, and then he just gets through the crowd. And the entire time, this poor man was trying to get the rich man's attention, but to no avail. He didn't even notice him. So he decides that I have to somehow, one way or the other, get this rich man's attention. He goes to the mansion where this rich man was staying. He stays outside of the mansion, he builds himself a little hut, takes some sticks and stones, and he starts making himself a fire. And he sits there, hoping that eventually the rich man is going to come out, and he's going to notice him, and he's going to give him some money. And this goes on day in and day out for 40 days. And the rich man passes by, he takes a look at the hut, he sees a poor man inside, but he doesn't bother. He just continues to walk. So the poor man realized that I have to get this rich man's attention one way or the other. And finally 40 days pass, and he realizes that he can't take it anymore. He runs to the gates of the palace, he bangs, "Please open up the door." They see some guys banging, it's an emergency, they open the door. He comes to the entrance of the palace, he's standing by the guards, and he's pleased with them, "Please let me in." "Why should we let you in?" He says, "Well, I really need to speak to the rich man." He says, "Everyone wants to speak to the rich man, and you have to make an appointment." He says, "Yeah, but please, I've been waiting for 40 days to get his attention, and I can't wait any longer." So they say, "Okay, let's ask him." So they page him, and he says, "Listen, I'm available now, let him in. Let's see what he wants." They let him in, he comes in, he gets on his knees, and he starts begging and pleading with the rich man, "Please, please help me out, I really need money. My family, my kids, I can't support them. Please, anything you give me, any amount, I'll really appreciate." So the rich man's heart goes out to him, he takes out a check, and he starts writing out like $1 million check. Meanwhile, somebody outside of this mansion is walking by, and passes by, and he sees how the rich man is giving out a check for $1 million. So he says, maybe the rich man is in a good mood, and this is my chance to take advantage, and maybe I could go inside and also ask for some money. But he doesn't bother going from the front, he doesn't want to go through the guards, so he just breaks the window, breaks down the door, and he gets on his knees and he says, "Give me the money." The rich man says, "Give me the money. If anything, you owe me money. You just broke down my door and you broke my window. I don't owe you anything." He says, "Yeah, but you gave him money. Why can't you give it to me?" He says, "Yeah, but this guy was trying to get my attention for the past 40 days. I understand his situation is very difficult. I see that he really is reliant on me. He has no one else to turn to. You just came last second. Why should I help you?" This mashal is for those who like to take their time. And they don't realize that they have an opportunity right now in Elul, before Rosh Hashanah comes along, to really grab the attention of Hashem, to show Hashem how much we are reliant on Him, and that we have nowhere else to turn to but on God, to God. And then finally comes the day of Rosh Hashanah, and Hashem says, "So how much do you depend on me?" If we really took advantage of all the 40 days from the beginning of Elul all the way till Yom Kippur, Hashem says, really, this person really needs my help. So I will come through for him, and I will help him. But the person who doesn't take advantage of the time, comes last second, Hashem says, "Where were you this whole time? You had so much time to turn to me, you had so much time to try to get my attention, but all of a sudden now you realize Yom Kippur and you're trying to break down the door and ask Hashem for mercy and for parnasa." And the lesson to us is that don't wait till the last second. Don't wait till Yom Kippur to wake up. Take advantage of the time now, so that when the day will come, Hashem will see how serious we are, and He's going to certainly help us and give us a good year. So there are Sephardim who actually do silichot for 40 days, and we daven and wake up early in the morning. And then the Ashkenazim come last minute. I don't know where they were the whole time. Last minute, like the week of. No, I'm joking, just a joke. And they break down the door and they say, Hashem, help me out. So obviously we don't want to wait till the last second. And this is the opportunity to do as much teshuvah as we can. So as they say, chaparayim.